Hello everybody, welcome to my workshop. My name is Caden, and today I wanted to give you guys a little update where I've been for the past 4 years, and I want to ultimately start making a sword. This is a commission that I'm working on. For the past 4 years I've been doing a few things. 1 was finishing uni, 2 was working at a knife making workshop in Wellington, and 3 I've just moved up to Auckland and I've started my own little knife making workshop here. So since the last video I've gotten pretty much all new tools. I've got a new grinder, new mill, that's a lathe, welder, I've got a new forge, I've got a new anvil, so all of my stuff is significantly better. All of my skills, I would say, are significantly better. Yeah, currently my main focus is just learning as much as I can, making as many different kinds of things as I can, and excited to make more videos about the various types of edged things that I make. So in this video, I'm making a sword, and my first step is to put some layout lines on the blade. This sword is going to be a stock removal sword. This right here is a piece of spring steel, and the reason why I'm doing stock removal is because this is semi-foreign territory to me. I want to start with a method that I know will decrease the amount of complications. Forging tends to add a lot of different elements to making anything, and making something that has a 900 mil long blade, it makes it significantly more complicated. So I'm just starting with some flat bar stock. I know it's roughly straight, roughly parallel. It's going to be significantly easier to get this into the shape of a sword than to forge it into a shape of a sword and then grind from there. The reason why I'm starting with the fuller is because the bar is already sort of a parallel thickness. If I rough in the fuller now, before heat treatment, before profiling, I can then profile the blade around the fuller, and when I grind the bevels, the fuller will naturally taper with the bevel grinds. So the first step is going to be the fuller. I've got all the marking out done, so now it's just time to hop on the grinder, get grinding. Alright, so you can see I've got the respirator marks on my face. I've finished the first side to 36 grit. Still got to do the other side, but you'll notice that the tape is now missing. And just to make sure everything was kind of tidy, I took the tape off, made some small little adjustments, just measuring everything with dividers and calipers. So next step is 36 grit on the other side of the blade. So both of the fullers are roughed in at 36 grit. Got one there, one there. My next step is to profile the blade. Once I profiled the blade, then I'm going to go back to the fullers, clean them up with some higher grit belts. We're going to go up to 120, just to clean everything up, make sure they're perfectly straight. They're actually really straight as is. I was kind of surprised at how well that little table worked at keeping things straight, but I am going to have to grind out a fair few like micro facets. You can see the light doesn't run very even over the surface, so we're going to fix that. Once we've done that, we're actually going to start on bevels, the preheat treatment bevels, which I am both excited and not excited for. It's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be where it starts to look like a sword. Next step is profiling, cutting this thing out with an angle grinder. profiling. We've got the tip, got the tang. Now I'm going to go back to those fullers and clean them up. So I've just finished grinding the fullers. They're at 240 grit, and I just wanted to talk a little about what I had to keep in mind while grinding the fullers in. I initially ground them in at 36 grit belt, and this is a 36 grit belt. They're a fairly thick belt, and that thickness is added to the radius of the wheel that I'm using. And so when I'm grinding it, it's a particular radius. Generally, as you move up grits, the belts tend to get thinner. So this is a 120 grit belt, and it is, probably can't tell the difference, but it's significantly thinner than the 36 grit belt. And that means that the diameter that I'm using in total, including the belt, is less than the diameter including the 36 grit belt. And that leads to what I was talking about in a previous clip about those microfacets. So it basically creates a bunch of microfacets in the blade. I got all the 36 grit scratches cleaned up, but then I had all these little microfacets, which are basically just the same as big scratches. So I had a little bit of a problem, but that problem was quickly solved by these belts. These are belts that I bought a while ago, and I've really enjoyed using them. So this is a 240 grit belt, and that thickness is around the same thickness as the 36 grit belt, and that allowed me to clean up the fullers a lot. It's a little wonky. It doesn't have to be perfect at the moment, but there are basically no microfacets in there, which is ideal. The next step is layout for the bevels, so I'm gonna basically be scribing 2 lines down the center. I want the edge thickness to be just over 1 millimeter, so probably maybe around 2 millimeters to be honest. But yeah, time to do some layout.
Don't wanna boast, but I gotta wait till you see her. A, B, C, D, me. A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Just finished grinding the first half of the sword, so that's 2 out of 4 bevels. It's looking pretty good. I started with the table and basically took the majority of the meat out with that, but I found it really hard to control my angle that way. So what I ended up doing was just freehanding it, and I'm basically just kind of going at it little section at a time. Now that I've done those 2, gotta get back on the grinder and do the other 2. So the blade is off the grinder, and I think it's looking pretty sweet. There are definitely a few inconsistencies, but I can tackle those once the blade has been heat treated. Really pleased with the harmonics of the blade, so it's got all the proper sword things. So the center of reverberation, center of mass, and center of percussion are all roughly where they should be. I can definitely get it closer to that once it's been finished ground and hand sanded. And of course all the fittings are on, so that is really cool. In the next episode I'm going to be heat treating this and starting on all the handle components, but for now, thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.